Travis.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order, the Upper Rio Grande Floodplain Group General Meeting, Tuesday, May 9th, 9 a.m. Welcome, everybody. And I guess the first initiative would be to see if there are any comments from the public.
No one has requested for me to sign up, but if anybody virtually would like to say anything, they could do that now.
Okay, no comments from the public. We need to get approval of the minutes for the last meeting of April 12th. Is there any input or corrections to the minutes? I heard that dog bark. Is that the input?
That's mine.
That sounds like a motion to approve.
Okay, we got a motion.
That's what it was.
Okay, Jeff Bennett.
And a second. Okay, any discussion?
I'm sorry, who was the second?
I'll be second.
Okay, Omar.
Oh, there, I
Thank
thought
you.
I heard somebody second.
No, the dog doesn't count as a
That
motion.
dog
It's
doesn't
the second.
count.
No.
Okay. Okay, no discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Richard, your turn.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations to everyone. Your adopted final Regional 14 Upper Rio Grande floodplain was accepted by the TWDB. We worked with the technical consultants to fix some data discrepancies. They fixed that, submitted it, and so all 15 regions have now been accepted. We plan to bring those regional floodplains before the TWDB board, our board members, sometime in July for them to approve them. That same process will happen for the amended plan, where once you guys submit the amended plan, TWDB will need to accept it, and then we'll bring the amended plan before the TWDB board members later this fall to approve them. On that, for the second cycle, the proposed changes to our TWDB administrative rules are out for public comment. They are published in April 21st edition of the Texas Register, and they are open through May 22nd for public comment. And my last thing for you all is reminder that the terms of office for each of all of the voting positions, the expiration is coming up, but it's more about who gets 2 extra years and who gets 5 extra years. This is the point where we're going to stagger the positions so that ideally there's only about a half turnover every cycle. Again, this is related to each position, not the person. And so I believe the bylaws say drawing lots. So if Annette and sponsor and chair would come up with your preferred method of drawing lots, potentially at your June meeting or your July meeting. And that is all the updates I have. Does anybody have any specific questions for me at this time?
When are the nominations coming up? When's the deadline?
Nominations for
voting positions.
the deadline for everyone's currently all voting member positions right now. Your expiration is July 10th. But again, that's just to kind of, because everyone joined at the same time, that's the cutoff for everyone. And from this point, half of the positions get 2 years and half of the positions get 5 years to then set the stagger going forward.
Thank you.
That means that effectively has to be, the decision on that for us has to be in June.
June, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, thanks, Richard. Anything else for Richard? All right, then we'll move on to Gilbert. AECom.
Hey, thank you, David. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day today. This is our regular update that we're going to have here for the Region 14 Upper Rio Grande Flood Planning Group. Next slide, please. Just to let you know that the things we're going to discuss today are just going to be our general updates and our Task 12 on the FMEs and FMPs that we went over. Today, we're going to go ahead and kind of introduce some other projects that EP Water wanted to be included in this TWDB regional flood plan. They did set up a contract with us to do some additional projects for them, and we wanted to present them to the group today. So next slide, please. Next slide. Upcoming dates. We're going to have a general meeting to vote for acknowledge and approval of additions to the RFP. We're looking to submit our draft amendment to the RFPG group on May 26th. We would like to have a general meeting the week of June 5th. That's for us to discuss the RFP amendment and to get any feedback from you all. Based off that meeting, we're going to have a deadline for you all to give us comments by June 9th. From there on, we're looking to post an agenda for approval of the amended RFP on June 16th. We also look to have a general meeting the week of June 19th. We'll be able to discuss those RFPG comments and the amended RFP as well. And we're looking to seek approval from the Regional Flood Planning Group on June 29th through the 30th. Just to let you know, our amended RFP is due to TWDB on July 14th. Just an internal note for us is we'll begin to start printing on July 3rd. It is a big document, and we do need to submit hard copies as well as electronic to TWDB. So in general, those are our dates. We are moving forward. So Annette, I don't know if we've sent out doodle polls to get these dates, cemented in and in there. And if not, can we work on getting those so we can have everybody here present?
Yes, sir, I'm doing them right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If y'all don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. And this will be Travis taking over for this. Go ahead, Travis.
So after the, actually, go back one slide. After the previous submittal, the decision was made to add additional FMPs to the report. Several municipalities were selected to receive funding from TWDB to develop FMEs and FMPs, and the offer was also made to municipalities to fund the development of their own additional projects for included in the RFP. El Paso Water was the only municipality to take advantage of that at this time. So for additional projects under TWDB funding, we've got Vinton 1. Vinton 1 is a construction of 2 basins and a diversion channel outside the village of Vinton. The project plans to remove about 392 structures from the 1% annual chance floodplain for a cost of about $59 million. Pecos 1 is the construction of a 130 acre foot detention pond within the town of Pecos City. It affects the southern side of the town and plans to remove about 51 structures from the 1% annual floodplain. Presidio 1 is the construction of 2 basins and a gravity discharge pipe. The intent of this project is to prevent the overtopping of Hurd Road, which links 2 critical facilities, a power plant and a school with the rest of the city. This project is very precisely focused on just get connection to these critical facilities. Alpine originally received funding, but with the status of the existing knowledge that they had there, they opted for a technical memo and an additional FME. Currently, both are still in progress as we're working with the city of Alpine to meet their needs for this site going forward. El Paso Water, under TWDB funding, they developed the CE4B Gateway Basin and Pump Station. CE4B and CE5B are very similar projects, both ponds discharging to the Rio Grande. For CE 4B, Phase 1 is the construction of a detention pond north of I-10 and connection to an existing northern pond. It also includes the partial construction of a pump station north of I-10. So it'll be the main structure and then partially equipping the pump station, not the full capacity of that pump station, and a temporary force main to the existing pond south of I-10. So that will be where this partially constructed pump station will discharge in between Phase 1 and Phase 2. Phase 2 will be the final construction and equipping of the pump station and a new force main to outfall to the Rio Grande. It will also include abandoning in place, cutting, plugging, grouting that temporary force main from Phase 1. Phase 1 is expected to cost around $46 million. Phase 2 around $65 million for a total project cost of about $108 million across both phases. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the city or the El Paso Water opted to provide funding to develop 3 additional FMPs for inclusion in the plan. That would be CE5B, WC1, and WC4. CE5B is the Dallas ponds, similar to Gateway Basin. It is split into 2 phases. It's the construction of a detention basin north of I-10, the partial construction of a pump station that would discharge into an existing pond underneath of I-10. Phase 2 would complete construction of that pump station and add a force main to outfall at the Rio Grande. The extension of the Phase 1 force main will continue to serve as a gravity line to Sabata Pump Station instead of abandoning in place like the Gateway Basin. This one would continue to serve as a gravity flow. A smaller secondary pump station and force main will be constructed to divert flow from the Dallas Street conduit that's currently overwhelmed. There will be a diversion to reduce flow into that Dallas Street conduit so it can continue to serve its intent while meeting the flow requirements there. WC1 Canterbury Channel is the construction of a 5.72 acre feet debris basin designed to prevent debris flows, which are like a viscous floodwater sediment cobble flow from entering the existing stormwater infrastructure. The basin itself is not designed to provide any hydraulic benefits itself. It's just there to collect debris. The hydraulic benefits are going to be achieved by allowing the existing stormwater infrastructure to operate unimpeded. For WC4, flow path 21, it's a 37.6 acre foot detention pond designed to increase both debris and stormwater capacity. So in this, there will be hydraulic benefits from this basin, unlike WC1, and the project is there to remove 1 hospital from the 1% annual chance, as well as 15 other structures from the floodplain. Are there any questions?
I don't have any questions on what Travis just presented. I'm asking the question about normalization again. Did you guys have a chance to look to see which of our priorities might be adversely impacted by the normalization process?
Go ahead, Travis. You want to go ahead and explain? I know we looked at the normalization, so.
Yeah, it's none of our projects would be negatively affected. It's just a way to get the values back into a reasonable, understandable number range. You have some projects affecting several thousand structures, some projects affecting smaller numbers, and it's just reducing the spread in those to allow us to understand that difference a little more and still provide reasonable ranking. When we looked at the normalization, we didn't see how normalizing or not normalizing would change ranking in any significant way other than maybe fractions of points, which didn't change the placement.
That's good to hear. Thank you. Any other comments or questions to ACOM, Travis or Gilbert? Okay, I think we'll move on then to item number 6, which is task 12, FMEs and FMPs.
I think that's all we have, right, Travis? We don't have a.
Yeah, that
This
was
is
that was the description of the FMEs
Okay,
and
that was what
FMPs.
you just covered. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yes, that's what we just covered, Dave.
Okay, all right. I assumed it was, but I thought I'd ask and just make sure. I think we're at the end of the agenda then. Omar, you got any thoughts you want to send out to the group?
Not at this time. Thank you everyone for joining us. I will say that we are keeping close track of future flood infrastructure funds that might be appropriated through the state. And so let's get ready to gear up to apply for all these projects and implement everything that we've worked so hard for in the last 2 years.
Again, I want to thank Gilbert for paying attention to some of these communities that are far east of us and making sure that they get the support that they needed. Thanks.
And I just want to, kind of, we're out at the ASFPM conference out here. Just want to throw out a shout out to Reem. She's going to be presenting today at about 3:30. She's going to be covering a Texas-sized planning effort to reduce the risk and impact of existing and future condition flooding. And that's going to be today. So that's a good course we'll be sitting in. So it's just a shout out to Reem.
Yeah,
Good
she's
for her.
gonna be talking about the flood plan and the group and everything, all the efforts. So shout out to her.
And I understand Reem has, or the board has, developed a process to allow funds to go to these smaller communities to help them with development of required paperwork.
Richard, I don't know if you want to answer that or.
I do not know if that has been finalized just yet. I know there have been discussions, but I cannot confirm if that's been in place just yet. Have you heard anything, Dave?
No, I continue to pursue that,
Okay.
because I think that's an agenda that we need to really support well. And we personally asked her about that when she visited us, and I heard that there was action ongoing, but I didn't know if anything had been formalized yet or not.
I do not know of something that's been formalized yet, but I believe discussions are still ongoing and things are shaping up. As
You could help.
what I can give.
You could help us stimulate that to get something done. We'd appreciate it.
Of course, I will
And
pass up
and
the
maybe
message.
Gilbert, if there's an appropriate opportunity to ask a question about it there, you might.
Definitely, Dave, we will. And just in looking at the funding that we have received, I think TWDB's done a pretty good job of spreading out the wealth throughout the state. I think it really boils down to the small communities really being ready to be able to fund their portion of it. And a lot of the times they can't. So we'll definitely bring that up to Reem today. It's a very important point you bring up, Dave.
Okay. Thanks. Just another opportunity. Are there any persons from the public that might want to make comment now that they've heard the entire meeting? Okay, I guess we're all through then. Hang on a minute.
Good morning, Dave. Excuse me. I'm kind of slow here. I just wanted to thank you guys for bringing that topic up for small municipalities, small communities. We do need a lot of help. As you know, we always get left out in funding opportunities. So I appreciate that you guys are actually trying to include that. I just wanted to thank you for that.
Thanks for your feedback. We're
Thanks,
doing our
Dave.
best to stimulate that. Go ahead.
Gilbert, did you want to say something?
No, I was just thanking David Cantu for the comment. Thank you.
And as instructed, I just sent out the request for availability for the week of June 5th and June 19th through email. So if you have an opportunity to look at that, please feel free to fill those surveys out so we can check and see what would be the best date. And as a reminder, Levi is getting married that week of June 5th. So if we can have it sooner, and if we would like Levi's presence, then that would be something we would want to do. So just keep that in mind. Thank you.
And let me just add to that, guys. TWDB wants us to resubmit the whole plan again, okay? It's going to be the whole plan with the amended projects included in there. So I'm not asking you guys to relook at the whole plan again. It's just basically looking at the amended projects on there and making sure that everybody is comfortable with them moving forward. So it is a pretty big document, so don't get overwhelmed. It's just looking at the amended portion of it. Thanks.
Also, just a comment, let's everybody be prepared for that drawing, or however we're going to determine the 2-year and 5-year activity at that first meeting in June. So we'll try to get that accomplished early in June, and then we can think about maybe some nominations for positions if there are going to need to be any in that second meeting in June. So we meet our July suspense for membership. Any other thoughts or comments? Okay, I guess I need a motion to adjourn then, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Go ahead, a motion a second. I assume there'll be no discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Thanks, everybody, for attending the meeting.
Thanks,
you.
everybody. Have a great day and a
Thank you,
great
everyone.
week.
Appreciate
Great
it.
Tuesday.
Thank you.
See y'all.
And, Travis or Gilbert, if you all can send me the video and then the transcripts, I can make sure I have everybody down as I need to.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Once we get it, we'll forward it to you.
I'm still also working on getting that April transcript. There was some weirdness with the recording, so when I download it, it's coming in corrupted. So
Okay.
I see your emails. I'm still working on it, trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, and if you can't, well, then we just say unavailable, and I mean, we can't be the first ones to not have one video available. So if it doesn't work, Travis, just let me know.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great conference.
Thanks, we will.
Bye.
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 Oh, Gilbert, I forgot. Are you there? Yeah, he's gone.
Oh,
That's okay. I'll call him. All right.
You need
Thanks,
something,
Travis.
Annette? I can, you need
Yeah,
something I
well-
can relay to him?
Yes, so we, AECom is gonna sponsor one of the